Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to another day out here at the book club. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and share the slides here, and we can just shoot this. Um, Let me get the slides here. Just gonna share the slides. All righty. Good afternoon. You're welcome again to the book club. We've been reading a book by T.D. Jakes' book all this while for some weeks now, and we still have a few more weeks to go. We're gonna go on to chapter 11 today, and it's titled "The Sound Check," pretty much checking your receptibility of your message by the people. You know how your message is getting across, right? And just focus on what we just want to share uh, this afternoon. And pretty much we're in the part 4 of the book, which talks about the discovery of delivery, right? You have your message, is all about ensuring that the delivery is right, that you get the message to the audience, right? That's all we've been checking. We had the first chapter last week, and we're here on to the next chapter. Just all about delivery, talking about ensuring that your message gets across to the audience. Uh, and he starts this chapter with this quote, talking about getting an audience is hard. Yeah, you know, having to connect with the audience, it's a job to be done because everyone is concerned about their own business. Right? You have to give them a reason to share their own business, as it were, to focus on your own business, right? So it's like that. It's where you have to capture their attention. It's one thing to capture it, is another thing to sustain it for the period of your communication, right? And that's what we want to talk about here. Is ability to capture the attention of your audience and keep it till you're done with your message, so that your message can hit home, right? And pretty much like TD Jakes emphasizes in the book, the art of communication is typically about movement, right, or motion, right? Jim Rohn would say that the essence of every communication is action, right? Your communication is not done until the people have something to do. Right? It's not about being impressed by your presentation. It's the fact that they leave with an action to take, a place to be, right? Because your essence of your communication is to bring them into a world, your world, right? For them to make a movement to wherever they are into the world that you are in or presenting, as it were. Because it's your heart trying to communicate to their heart until they can feel what you feel about the message and see what you see you have not done, right? So it involves emotion, a movement is from wherever they are to the place where you want them to be, right? And it talks about the fact that the best communicators are able to carry their audience on that journey, cause there to be an action, cause there to be a movement from wherever they were to where they need to be by as per whatever is being communicated, right? Otherwise, it's been a waste of everybody's time. Communication has not been effective. And it goes on and says the one extra step in maintaining that, obviously, is capturing and maintaining the attention of the audience, right? Uh, and obviously, to do that, you must have something worthwhile for them, something they desire, something that will capture their fancy, their interest, something that gives them a place called there to go, right? And that's one way of capturing what their audience, what their attention per se. And that's the job of communicating. It takes a lot of work, a lot of research right? Because you need to know your topic, right? You need to know what you're trying to deliver so you can deliver it, right? Because if you don't know where it is you want to take them to, how will they know, right? So, like I say, typically, I become the message so that I can take them to the place that the message is tending to take the people to, right? So you must know your subject. You must know your subject. To the best of your ability for that particular event. You need to know your subject matter, right? And so if you know your subject, then delivery becomes an easy flow, right? Because then you're not concerned about not knowing where you're going. Because if you know your subject, then you have a picture of where it is you want to take the people to. So it's easier to lead them to what you're seeing, right? And he pretty much emphasizes here the fact that it's not by trying to force them, as it were, to, right? And leadership is a gift that the followers give to the leader, right? It's not something you take by force, right? You have to give them a reason to follow, right? And that's unlike what we see around in most places, and people are trying to beat the people down with their words. That's not leadership. That's being a terrorist, not a leader, a boss, not a leader. A leader does not force the people to follow. Rather, like he hands the respect and the followership, as it were, of the people. It's not something you take by force. It's something that you hand. You give them a reason to want to follow you, right? And that's critical. As it were, yeah. And he just emphasizes here the fact that you could be creative around doing this, right? You know when to bring a joke in or no joke. Just be yourself. The key word here that I see ringing through this chapter is the fact that you need to be real, right? If you're not real, people will see through you, right? If you're just playing a game, people will see through you. They won't be able to sustain it. First of all, again, the message goes beyond just a few minutes you stand in that pulpit. Whether people listen to you or not is a function of the totality of your being before and after your time on the altar. Because you're talking to people that probably have met you away from the altar, people that know you from different sectors, right? When you're speaking, your words are judged by the life that they know, right? So you can only ask for so often, right? You need to be the message you're presenting. People will cut through if you're not being real or genuine. That's part what you're presenting, right? And that's what TDJ pretty much emphasizes here. If you need to, you need to let you be real, really, be real. If there's anything in your life you need to work on, then work on it. Because as soon as you start going to public ministry, there's not going to be any part of your life that's going to be will affect your message, right? So it's better to get every area of your life right than trying to hide it, because hiding, first of all, takes away the power of your message, and you can only hide it for so long, right? So you need to let you be real. That's key word. Be real. Your presentation, and another thing is just also being up to date, right? And you don't want to be a dinosaur trying to minister to a jet age generation. There's going to be a disconnect. Irrespective of how much power you have in your message, there's going to be a difference in language, right? And that difference in language will hinder your communication. All right. So you need to up to date, not necessarily the fact that you need to change being yourself, right? But you need to know what's going on around. You cannot be a ignorance of the environment you're trying to minister to, right? So you need to update yourself, and what's going on so that you're able to minister to a real world, to a real people, right? From yourself. It's not a matter of you having to be someone different from who you are, but it helps to know the audience, the environment in which you're ministering, so that you're hitting all the right points and using the right illustrations also. At the end of the day, that there's no communication gap in your ministration, right? And just also say that there needs to be balance of, don't let your emotions becloud your message, right? It's your message you're trying to communicate. And if you don't have your emotions under control, they could tend to decolorize, becloud, not to make your message be visible, right? So you need to be calm and collected and ensure that more than just your emotions breaking through, your message gets through, right? And that's just what we learn from the chapters all. Let's see how much of the exercise I can do all alone. So I'm all alone this today, And here in the first exercise, it talks about that there are some keys we've discovered in keeping our audience attention, which is what the chapter is about. What are some of the particular challenges engaging your audience in communication medium you prefer? I mean, for me, it's just being relevant. I guess that's the way I tend to probably keep the audience. I don't work too hard at it, but I like I say again, when I prepare for a message, I first of all study and inculcate it, because it really be a part of me. Probably more than anything else, the way I keep the audience is just by being me, being genuine, no acting. I'm just being transparent and authentic. Yes, that's a real thing for me. What are some of the particular challenges to engage an audience, in the communication media you prefer? Well, I guess some of the challenges, being able to meet people where they are, right? Not everybody operates at the same level as I am, so that is a continuous battle, being to be able to speak to each person's situation, status in life, so that you can help them to wherever they need to be, that's a continuous process, I guess, fighting and making that right. How about you allow your personality to infuse you? Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I'm a passionate person, and if I get too much of being passionate in a message, I could potentially uh, not let my emotions override and overshadow the message. So I have to control that, so as to ensure that the reason for standing up, sitting down to communicate is to truly communicate and not just waste people's time. It says using the scale 1 to 10, how well do you allow your personality to? Maybe I'll say 7, because I give it my all. But I'm just also wary that I don't want my personality to overshadow or becloud the message. All right, I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to do the other activities, But key word at the end of the day is the fact that we need to be conscious of the fact that not just that we have a message, but that the message we have gets passed on to the audience that needs to hear it. And we need to then take away the things that might seem to prevent that happening, like our emotions, pride, not being updated, not being prepared. Those are things that can stand in our way. It's up to us to work on it and make sure that I'm going to stop here for today. Thanks for coming along with me. You've been home alone. God bless you. All right, bye.